They said, "Nothing can destroy us here." They looked at their homes carved into mountains and laughed at the idea of death. These rocks have outlived generations. We live inside eternity. But they forgot something. Stone does not protect. When the one who created stone is displeased. This is not just a story of a destroyed nation. This is a warning that still breathes today. This is the story of Thamūd. Part 1. A nation that felt untouchable. Long before punishment came, Thamūd had everything. Strength, wealth, security. They were master engineers. They carved palaces directly into mountains, not out of need, but pride. Allah describes them in the Quran. You carve homes in the mountains with great skill. Their cities were not temporary. They were statements. Statements that said, "We will not fall." And when people feel untouchable, they stop listening. Part 2. The man they trusted. Among them lived a man named Ali. He was not a stranger, not an outsider, not a rebel. He was one of them. They respected him. They trusted him. They expected him to lead them one day. The Quran preserves their own words. You were among those we had hope in before this. Hope. That is important. Because the rejection hurt not because Ali was weak, but because he was trusted. Then one morning, he stood before his people and spoke words that shattered comfort. "O my people, worship Allah alone. You have no God besides him." The valley froze. This was not a suggestion. This was a challenge to their identity. Part 3. Why they really hated him. They didn't hate Ali because he was wrong. They hated him because he was inconvenient. One God meant no control through idols, no inherited power, no blind loyalty, accountability. And accountability terrifies arrogance. So they mocked him. Has he gone mad? He speaks as if the sky will fall. Does Allah only speak to you now? Laughter became their shield. When truth threatens pride, mockery becomes defense. Part 4. Allah does not rush punishment. Here is something people forget. Allah did not destroy Thamūd immediately. Ali warned them again and again. Privately, publicly, patiently. Years passed, and every day was mercy. Every ignored warning was another chance. Because Allah does not punish until proof is complete. But arrogance grows when mercy is mistaken for approval. Part 5. Give us a miracle. Finally, they demanded a sign. Not because they wanted guidance, but because they wanted to humiliate him. They pointed to a massive rock. "If your Lord is real," they said, "bring a camel out of this stone." Not just any camel. They made the conditions impossible. Huge, red, fully grown, pregnant. They smiled, certain of victory. Ali asked one final question. "If Allah gives you this sign, will you believe?" They promised. Promises made by arrogant hearts are the weakest promises of all. Part 6. The rock gave birth. Ali raised his hands. He made dew. The valley went silent. Then, crack, the mountain split. Dust filled the air. And from cold, lifeless stone, walked out a living camel. Massive, majestic, alive, pregnant. Exactly as they demanded. Fear swallowed laughter. Even denial struggled to breathe. This was not magic. This was judgment wrapped in mercy. Part 7. A test, not a show. Ali said, "This is the she-camel of Allah. Let her drink on her day. You drink on yours. Do not harm her." The test was simple, but arrogance hates sharing. The camel drank one day, but on that same day, she gave milk enough for the entire nation. Poor and rich alike benefited. This miracle fed them. But instead of gratitude, jealousy grew. She is taking our power. If this continues, Ali will control us. Miracles do not change hearts that are committed to pride. Part 8. The crime that sealed their fate. 9 corrupt leaders met at night. They whispered. They planned. One man stepped forward, the most evil among them. He struck the camel. She collapsed. Her unborn calf ran toward the mountain, crying out. Scholars say it cried 3 times. 3 cries. 3 days. Ali said, "Enjoy yourselves for 3 days. Then the punishment will come." They laughed. They always laughed. Part 9. 3 days of terror. Day 1. Their faces turned yellow. Fear spread, but no repentance. Day 2. Their faces turned red. Panic screamed, but still no repentance. Day 3. Their faces turned black, like smoke before fire. Still, instead of repentance, they planned murder. They tried to kill Ali. Allah destroyed them before they reached him. Part 10. The scream. At sunrise, the sky released a sound. Not thunder, not wind. A single divine scream. The Quran calls it azaya. It shattered their hearts instantly. They fell where they stood. The mountain carvers became lifeless inside the mountains they trusted. Part 11. The final word. Li turned back and said, I conveyed the message of my Lord, but you do not love sincere advice. That is the real lesson. Not the camel, not the scream, but the hatred of advice. Reflection. This story is about us. We don't carve mountains anymore. We carve careers, status, ego, followers, wealth. And we say the same thing Thamūd said. I'm safe. The scariest question is this. How do you react when you are corrected? Do you say, thank you? Or, who are you to tell me? Because that response is the seed of destruction. If this story reached your heart, don't let it stop here. Support this channel so we can continue producing deep, researched, heart-shaking Islamic stories. Subscribe, like, share this with someone who needs a reminder. And if you are able, join our support community so we can improve production and spread these lessons further. What you give may be small, but the reward with Allah is never small. Keep this ummah in your due. Keep your heart soft. And may Allah protect us from arrogance and make us people who love sincere advice. Wa assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.